Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Mystic Path. I am going to do a general love reading. And before I do that, I just want to say quickly, this is a general love reading. If it does not resonate, please do not try to make it fit, okay? I don't do a lot of love readings. You'll begin to see on this channel because and don't get me wrong, love is very important. It is, and it's very important to have healthy, unconditional love in our life. However, I feel like a lot of people get caught up on this romantic love journey and it can really twist you up. And so I always kind of go by the rule that like whatever is coming up, whatever issue's coming up in my love life, I try to come from it from the what is my part in this perspective, right? Because every relationship takes two people. Now, in no way am I suggesting that it's okay to stay in a toxic or abusive relationship. I do not suggest that. I think in today's day and age, women can be anything they want and can find the strength to live out their dreams, and there's no reason to be in a love relationship that's unfulfilling or has passed its expiration date. Because, that happens in relationships, right? All relationships. We sometimes, I like the saying that people are in your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. Because some people aren't meant to be in your life forever and ever. They are meant to just teach you a lesson and then move it along. And sometimes, and I've done it, we've all done it, we hold on to a relationship for too long. We hold on to it until it's gotten really bad and things aren't healthy anymore. And then it's like you look at each other and you start forgetting why you even liked that person to begin with, right? And that's not good for anybody. Now, that's not to say relationships do ebb and flow, and every relationship is on its own journey, and absolutely only you know what's right for you in your journey. But that being said, this is a general reading. If it does not resonate or it does not sound like your story in the first couple minutes, it is not for you. Please do not make it fit. And keep in mind, with any reading you get, look at it from the perspective of what you can fix, what you can change, right? Because, again, it takes two, and none of us are perfect, and we all have a part to play. And sometimes we play healthy roles, and sometimes we play unhealthy roles, and sometimes we provoke, and sometimes we don't. You know what I mean? We're all human beings. So just take what resonates, leave the rest, and whatever's resonating, think about it from how can I heal myself? How can I work on myself? Because we can't change other people, right? And one of my favorite sayings, you'll hear me say it on here a lot, we can't change the world until we can change ourselves. And that's why I started this channel, to kind of help us all together learn and heal and grow and be the best people we can be. So, for this love reading, we will be using the Green Witch Tarot, which is right here, and for clarifying, Rider-Waite Radiant, okay, for guidance at the end, we'll be using the Affirminators, Love and Relationship, because they are prompts for self-help, right? So just like I said, it's all about what we can do to change ourselves, because we can't force the other person to change, right? And then we got the secret language of light. So in every love reading I do, we're going to pull an action card of something we can do to work on our self and having healthy love boundaries and all that, right? And then, yes, we'll use some spell casting oracle and energy oracle cards. So, I'm sorry that was a lot. I know most of you are probably like, just get on with the reading already. So let's do it. General love reading for the collective. General love reading for the collective. What is the energy supporting the next month for the collective in love? The next month. Is that the only one? Yes. Healer of the ages. That's a good one. Number 51. Or 6. For those of you numerology lovers. All right. How is he feeling about you? Oh, that's another thing. I'm going to say he and she, but this is a non-gender channel. I have many friends who are gay, straight, trans, non-conforming, asexual, all of that. So I don't judge, and my readings are about the masculine and feminine energies, okay? So, if you're in a same-sex relationship, congratulations. But, masculine and feminine energies. We're not, when I say he and she, I'm not speaking of gender so much as energies of the universe, right? So, how is he feeling about you? Actually, let's not ask that yet. Let's ask, what's going on in his headspace? What is going on in the Divine Masculine's headspace? 2 cards. Insight. Soulcraft. I like that. All right, we have Healer of all the ages. Divine Masculine energy is Insight. Soulcraft. All right. What is Divine Feminine's energy? Divine Feminine's energy for the next month in collective love energies. How is the Divine Feminine thinking and feeling? How is the Divine Feminine thinking? How's her energy? Voila. All right. Remembrance. Oh, this. Okay. Oh, and at the bottom of the deck is Soul Tree, which is like, the tree of life where all the souls come from. So it's a beautiful card. Underlying energy for the love energies in the collective for the next month. For the Divine Masculine, we have Insight and Soulcraft. For the Divine Feminine, we have Remembrance and Nourish. Beautiful. Especially because the energy overall for love in the collective is the healer of all ages. So I feel like what's happening here thus far is the divine masculines are healing, and they're finally opening up and starting their soul journey. And they're starting to get some insight on how they behave and how they are in relationships, okay? I'm hearing patterns. They're starting to gain some insight on their patterns in relationships, in romantic love relationships we're talking about here, okay? And that's what's leading him on the path of healing his inner child, is that he's finally looking at his past and all his past relationships, and he's starting to ask himself the hard questions, and he's starting to work on his soul and start his soul journey and to gain insight on what his part to play has been, right? Earlier we were talking about everybody has their role to play. So I feel like that's what's happening. The divine masculine in the next month is going to be starting to heal in baby steps, I'm hearing. Because think about it, if you're watching this channel and you've been awake for a while and you've been on your own soul journey, you know doing this work is not easy. Any kind of work, therapy, you know, cognitive behavior shifting, energy clearing, soul growth, all of this work is needed to, you know, kind of break the trauma or the curse, I guess, of generational trauma. But I'm hearing be gentle. The divine masculines are just starting this journey, and you are at the place, you're much further along in this healing journey. You remember who you are. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. You're starting to really heal and go within and nourish yourself and nourish your soul and remember who you are, right? I don't want to cuss on the channel, but I'm hearing in my head, you're remembering who the F you are, all right? And you're not going to take, you're not going to let anybody tell you who you are. You're remembering. You're in touch now with your soul. You've already looked at your past and your patterns, and you've been on the soul journey for a while. So you remember who you are, and you're going to nourish that person. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. So this is really good. And the next month, you know, I did another video earlier in the month about kind of what's going to be happening in the next month in the collective, and it was also a lot about healing and let's not forget, healing can sometimes be ugly. Healing sometimes it means curling up in a ball and sobbing uncontrollably, right? But as long as we don't get stuck there, expression our emotions is good. We just don't want to get stuck there. That's the main issue. So, all right. So this all seems good. And these cards are all just full of light and clear energy. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of healing going on in the next month. And it's not going to be like dark shadow work where it's really deep and dense and dark. This is all, it's going to be a little bit, it's going to be good. It's going to be relieving yourself of burdens, I feel like. It's going to be giving you epiphanies that are going to energize you to move forward. Ooh, like that. Epiphanies that will energize you to move forward. All right, so now let's ask, how is the divine masculine feeling about the divine feminine? How How is the divine masculine feeling about the divine feminine? How is the divine masculine? Whoa. A jumper. The Lady and the Lord, which is in this deck, the Lovers. Okay, so how's he feeling about you? The Lovers. He's feeling like he might want a relationship with you, it looks like. Okay. How are you feeling about him? Four of Cups. Look at her. She's like, eh. She's like, I don't really like any of these cups I got going on. Maybe I'll wait and see if this person bringing me this cup has something better in there. Ladies. So he's looking at you. He wants commitment and love. And he wants a relationship with you. And you're viewing him, I could take it or leave it. I mean, I don't mean to be harsh, but I love it. She's like, just looks so absolutely bored. So, so, you know, you might be not interested right now. And that, you know, is not a bad thing. If you're remembering who you are and you're ready to nourish and feed that person and feed that soul, then, you know, you're not worried about being in a relationship right now. You're worried about standing in your power. So, I mean, this makes sense. He's starting to gather some insight, which is making him want to rush to you. That's what I'm hearing. And offer you commitment. But you've been around the block a little bit, I heard. That's not, I don't mean that in a bad way. But they're basically saying you've been on this journey long enough to know that he's still early in the journey and he still has a long way to go to get to this like offering commitment and stability, right? You know, even in this card, he's raring to go and she's holding two daggers there. I feel like she's keeping her options open. She's always got choices. And same thing down here. She doesn't like what's in front of her right now. So I think this is good. This means you feel like he needs to do his work and learn about his patterns and things. And so you're just not interested right now because you're worried about yourself. All right. So let's see, what is the energy that is connecting the two of you, right? So he wants commitment, and you're like, take it or leave it. What energy is connecting the two of you? Ooh. The Ten of Swords. Can you clarify the Ten of Swords here? Clarify this Ten of Swords. Why is the connecting energy burdens? Clarify this Ten of Swords. Why is this? Whoa. Okay, these two. I hear you. You guys will notice as you watch me read, I talk to my guides a lot out loud. Queen of Pentacles, Five of Cups. All right. feel like the connecting energy is you feel like you have to stay and tend this fire, which is weird. It's like both of you know, this is what I'm getting. I'm getting that both of you know now is not the time to be together. But you both feel like this obligation to stay connected or to think about each other, or not obligation. It's almost like I got it. I can't let this go, because if I let it go when I'm healed and ready, it might not be there. Okay? And I feel like, you know, even she is forlorn, and then you got this guy with all these spilled cups looking all sad and depressed. So I feel like that's what this is saying, is like both of you, the divine feminine and the divine masculine right now, whoever you're watching this reading about, you guys both know that now is not the time to be together. But it's like you're both afraid to let go, because if you let go, it might not be here when you might not meet again. Okay? You might not meet again. But I want to tell you guys, like, the messages are coming in so clear. What you guys have going on, he has this insight and soulcraft. Okay? These are all in a line. And look at, okay, these are all in a line, and look at all of them. All this light is like aligning. All this light is in total alignment. And so I feel like what the universe wants you to know right now is that you gotta let this go. Because this is gonna, if you guys can separate and separate's not really the right word, because you might not even be with this person, right? But I guess what I'm saying is, if you can both accept in your mind that now is not the time to be together, now is not the time for this commitment, even though that's what he desires and that's what he wants, all of this amazing healing is going to happen. And then you guys are going to be in alignment, right? But it's like both of you are a little bit like afraid to let go, because like, what if it doesn't come back around? What if I don't meet this person again? What if we both focus on our own journeys right now and growing, what if our paths never come back together? That's what I'm hearing. That's what's connecting you guys right now. You're both in that energy of like afraid to focus on yourself 100%, because like, what if I lose that person forever? Okay? Let's just see. What is the outcome of this connection? What is the outcome? What is the outcome of this? Whoa. Okay. Too many. These cards are a little slicker. All right. What is the outcome? of this connection came right out. 9 of Wands. Can I have another one, please? What is the outcome? Oh. All right. Nine of Wands, High Priest. Oh, that's already there. Okay. 9 of Wands, High Priest, which is the Priestess. Page of Wands, the Witch, which is the Fool. Bottom of the deck, 7 of Swords. But this is a good 7 of Swords. This is like... not about being sneaky so much. This one's more about being... stable. Weird. Okay. So, the outcome of this is, if you guys can both spend this time working on yourselves and working on finding your path and that spark and passion that keeps you alive, if you both can stay on your own soul journeys and grow and really work on your issues, you know, like think about what your past relationships, and think about what patterns you may have. See if you can start trying to recognize patterns from all the relationships you've had in your life. You know what I mean? See if you can start to find commonalities. And by doing that, you know, start trying to address and ask yourself, okay, like, for example, if every one of your relationships ends with like a blow up and then you guys never speak again, like, you need to start asking yourself, like, why is that? Why am I so afraid to have a conversation or to have a calm break up and lovingly let someone go? You know what I mean? That's just an example I'm using. Like, if, for example, I know I have a friend who, like, every guy that she's with ghosts her, and then she's like, I don't understand. And it's like, you have to start, there's something within her that's attracting that kind of guy, right? So you have to start looking at, do I not value myself enough? And that's why I seek out other people that do not value me and do not have enough respect for me to have a conversation instead of just ghosting me, right? So that's just an example. But I feel like this is basically saying you got to spend the time and effort working on yourself and really finding your passions and the things that love and excite you. Stop living in confusion and indecision. That's what I'm hearing. It's like some of you don't even know what it is you like. That's what I'm hearing. Like, some of you just are so afraid to be alone that you it reminds me of, there's that movie with Julia Roberts called The Runaway Bride. And in one of the, she's engaged to all these different men, and she runs away on the wedding day because she can't do it and what she discovers, because then she starts asking herself, like, why have I been engaged like 4 or 5 times and I never make it down the aisle? I run away on the wedding day. And it turned out it's because she didn't even know herself. And like in the movie, every boyfriend she was with, whatever eggs he would order for breakfast, she'd say, oh, that sounds good, I'll have that. And at one point, somebody points out to her, you don't even know enough about yourself. You don't even know what eggs you like, right? And then that triggers her into realizing, like, oh, I don't even know what eggs I do like. I don't know that. And I just go along with every boyfriend I have or every girlfriend I have because I want them to like me. So I just like what they like, right? Well, that's not a healthy relationship. And that's not going to bring success, right? So I feel like this is saying you got to figure out what you like. You got to figure out what eggs you like, right? And then at the end of that movie, she falls in love with the guy, and she proudly says, "Eggs Benedict are the eggs I like." And, I've just never forgotten that, because I've always, tried to remind myself, make sure you know what eggs you like. Make sure you know what makes you feel alive and what fulfills you and what your passions are. Don't just follow somebody else's passions because you're too afraid to ask yourself the questions, right? So I feel like this is saying the outcome is going to be, if you can ask yourself those questions and you can find your path and you can find who you are and, figure out what eggs you like, and stay on this soul growth journey, there in baby steps, you are going to get a new beginning with this person. So this energy that's connecting you both right now, this fear of letting go, it's like, look at this. She doesn't even want this anymore. But it's like, she's still holding on. She's sitting here sadly. I got to tend to this fire. Almost like, it's like she's forced to do it, but she's not. Okay? That's what I'm hearing. She's not. Feel free to let this go and let it grow. Oh, that's beautiful. That's what my guides just said. Let this go to let it grow. Okay? And if you can do that, basically that means if the two of you can grow on your own and find yourselves, then you will slowly in baby steps work your way back to each other and back to this new beginning. And then look at her and look at how crazy this is. She's sitting here sadly. Oh, I can't let this fire burn out. And then the new beginning is she's all standing up happy, and she's like, this fire's roaring. She's cooking food in there. Okay? So I feel like that's good. I feel like that's the outcome. If you guys can both stay apart right now, or if your gut is telling you that now is not the right time, trust that. Stay on your separate soul journeys. Work on yourselves. You will get this new beginning. Okay? That's so good. You will get this new beginning. So it will come back around. If that's the worry, it will come back around. I feel like the messages are coming through clear today. So, let us get a guidance card. What is it we should be doing right now? What is it we should be doing right now in the next month in regards to our soul journey and growing and maturing in the love arena? Wow. Okay. That was... Okay. We have freedom and confidence. And let's get one of these, love and relationship affirmators. They're called affirmators. And this will give us some kind of action in our love romance department. What is the action we need to take in the next month? Okay. Whoop. Okay, that's too many. These cards are also a little slick. Alrighty. What is the action we need to take to grow? Alright, we got 2 here. Stuck together. Compliments and my best self. Alright? So, I'm going to read. So, the freedom and confidence. Freedom. Your power is eternal, yet you're held down by the heaviness of burdens tied into emotional commitment. Somebody fears your power, having recognized your full potential on all levels, and has led you to buy into false doubt, worry, and insecurity. Restriction and control has dimmed your spirit and suffocated the expression of your soul. It is time to fly the nest and release yourself from those who have clipped your wings. Each of us has been gifted with free will, so rise freely above anything that's enslaved and imprisoned you, and allow your loaded mind to be liberated as your heart and soul soar to new heights. Right? And then confidence is the other card. A lack of confidence is blocking you from living your life to the fullest. It is about time you trusted in your own gifts and abilities, for self-doubt seems to be running the show. You already know the answers, and you understand what's best for all, yet you still keep quiet and seek out the opinions of others. It's time to trust and believe in yourself. Daily positive affirmations will increase your feeling of self-assurance, and in turn, an appreciation of your unique qualities will increase. As new confidence shines forth, you're more readily available to share with the world everything you have to offer with strong conviction. Okay? Those are both great. And then these call to action cards say, along the same lines, I trust my best self. I trust that when I'm doing what's best for me and being the happiest version of myself, the right sort of relationships will appear in my life. That means I can let go of all of my worries about the future, knowing that my only job is to be happy in this moment. Then in parentheses it says, while simultaneously attaining a cosmic level of enlightened awareness and total psychological self-actualization. So, all of these cards are basically saying the same thing. You know what you need to be doing. You know what your path is. You know. You don't even have doubt. But all this self-doubt, it's like your gut has no doubts, but all this self-doubt is creeping in, and you need to find your confidence again. This said what I said earlier. This says, when I'm the happiest version of myself, the right sort of relationships will appear in my life, right? So it's like what I was saying earlier. When you start working on your own issues, like why, for example, I had a problem for many, many years. I don't anymore, thank goodness, recovering, that I was attracted to partners who were emotionally unavailable. And it caused me a lot of heartache. Because let me tell you, when you fall in love with somebody who's emotionally unavailable and like a brick wall with their emotions and doesn't want to share anything, that affects you, and it makes you feel like you're not lovable, and like, what did I do, right? Why won't this person open up to me or share with me? But I spent years in therapy, working on myself, and, not just that issue, but lots of other issues from childhood and things. And, then I stopped attracting that kind of guy. I was attracting that kind of guy because I didn't feel I was worth somebody's emotions. I didn't feel that I deserved the whole mushy romantic package, right? And so I constantly was seeking out men that would not give me what I desired, and then it would all fall apart and I'd be crushed. And it wasn't until I stopped and I started evaluating that Like, what is it about? Why am I so attracted to these men who are emotionally unavailable? Why? I started looking at the patterns of my relationships, and I started working on the things that I found. And so I've healed that part of myself. And now I no longer attract emotionally unavailable men. And the other good thing is I recognize them immediately, right? So I can go on 1 or 2 dates with somebody and I immediately know, like, oh, this person isn't closed down and is not going to be emotionally available to me. And instead of continuing forward like I would in the past, I now know I deserve what I want. And so I will then stop seeing that person and say, I wish you the best of luck. But because I recognize that's not where I'm going to find my happiness, right? Because I've tried that many, many times and it's never worked in my favor. So let's read the other one here. Compliments. I know how good it feels to get a compliment, so I give that gift to others. I'll find a nice compliment for everyone I interact with today, even if I have to think really hard about it, in which case I can follow up by complimenting myself for solving such a compliment puzzle. Wow, I'm skilled. These cards are funny, actually. So, this is basically just saying, find your voice, get rid of the self-doubt, and, sometimes we can do that by giving to others. I know for myself, I always find being in service to others is like how I can get out of my own head. If I'm having some issue or some, lesson or a block that's keeping me from moving forward, I will, to get out of my own head, I'll do something to serve somebody else. You know what I mean? I'll make a little gift for somebody. I like to make crystal bracelets, so I'll make a little bracelet and send it to a friend. Or I'll, if I see a homeless person, I will buy them dinner. Or, I carry in my car in the wintertime these big Ziploc bags full of toothbrush, toothpaste, socks, deodorant, things that a homeless person would need. And then if I'm out and about and I encounter one on the street or on the ramp, with a sign, I can roll down the window, and that makes me feel good, and that helps me get out of my own head. And it also helps me put my own stuff in perspective, right? Because sometimes we can get really caught up in love problems and love relationships to our detriment. So I feel like the guidance here is come back to self, continue nourishing, continue growing, stay on your soul growth path, and, baby steps, step by step, you're going to get to this place where you're going to feel free, you're going to feel confident, and, like we said earlier, these paths, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, those paths are going to cross again when they're both healed and ready for it, right? So follow your gut. I feel like that's all. I feel like I should stop because the guides have gotten very quiet. And I feel like this was a very good reading. So like, share, and subscribe, and please comment below if it resonated. I always like to hear if my readings are resonating or not. So you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next time.